when my son was born, he just seemed to, you know, be a car guy right from the get-go. All he wanted was cars, and he wanted always me to take him to car shows. And we built the junior dragster, and he loved it. He loved racing right from the get-go.
So basically, I'm Farad's son from Farks Supercars, and Louis, who also drives, he's Nick's son from American Racing Headers. And we teamed up probably 5 years ago now. We're partners in this car.
It's made up of a father and a son, and a father and a son. The boys have really bonded into a team that they really live and die together.
The team has become a family. It's not, you can't even call it a team, it's just a family at this point. And we're really happy to be, you know, partners with George and Farad from Farks Supercars. We couldn't have done it without them, and I'm sure they couldn't have done it without us.
Yeah, we originally didn't really build it for a class. We were just building it just to build a fast car and have some fun with it. And last year we decided to run real street with it. And obviously, you know, it's a heads-up class, so you have to maximize everything.
Right now we're ahead in the points by less than a round. So we can't lose, basically. We have to win this event and to secure the championship. So we're really excited to see how it all turns out.
Well, we came into this event with a 70-point lead. So we were hoping that we could set a new national record, which would give us 120 points lead, which would be more than one round of racing, which would mean that if we bet Jesse Coulter in the final, even if he beat us in the final, we would still win the championship.
You know, a really good pass in us is in the 70s, instead of 770s. So, you know, that was a nice, easy pass, just to get down, get qualified. And now we might get 2 runs tonight. We might just get 1. So next run we're gonna give it quite a bit more. Being a supercharged car, basically the amount of boost you get is solely, you know, based on RPM. Especially the faster you spin the motor, the faster supercharger is going to turn, the more boost you're going to make. So we can lower the RPMs off the starting line, but mostly what we do is just control power with ignition timing. You know, we have a race pack data logging system, which is great. We can overlay runs. We can really see exactly what the car is doing. So it is like a chess game. You know, you're studying the data. You're saying, okay, maybe we could have done this differently. Maybe we could do that. And other times you just really don't know, and just kind of, you know, throw a dart at it. Hope you get it right.
So going into our number 3 qualifier, we knew we had to step it up a little bit. George and I and Farad went into the trailer and kind of just talked everything over, talked about how we were going to set up the tune and how we were going to ramp the timing in. And
that tune-up was a good, safe tune-up that would get the job done, and it wouldn't, you know, spin the tires and throw away the run. And it felt great. The car left good. The timing came in. You know, it spit a little water out the back at the end, which made the shutdown a little hairy. The car went a little sideways when I pulled the chute.
It ended up being our water tank. Water tank split right at the seam, built too much pressure inside, and it split. That was the weakest link.
So when we got to the finish line and went on the scales, we didn't have that 2 gallons of water, which weighs about 16 pounds, and we were 5 pounds light. And we had set a national record, but Lonnie, the NMCA official there in charge, could not certify that national record because the car was light. I was upset that that happened, but I could not be mad at him one bit because he's doing his job honestly and fairly. So it's all you could ask for when you race.
We had a lot of work ahead of us. We had to pull everything apart, get the tank re-welded, and go from there and hope for the best.
All right, so we got to the track in the morning and we started the motor. We were under the impression everything was good, everything was fixed. And as we were idling it, it burst the coolant tank again. So immediately we knew that, you know, we had a head gasket problem. We had a buy run on the first because we were #1 qualifier. We idled the car with no coolant in it, just broke the beams. pushed it back to the pits, and then we had about an hour between first and second round to thrash, well, pull the head off, throw a new gasket on, clean the surfaces, retorque it, and put everything else on in that 1 hour time span.
I knew the boys can do it because I see them, they pull this engine apart all the time. They're very young, but they have a lot of experience, and they really can make some very, very good decisions. And then so many friends pitched in. Rodney from RPM Transmissions was over here helping.
It's not only the parts, it's the people behind the parts. It's the owners and salesmen and fabricators of those companies that really make putting the parts on this car worthwhile. And when things go wrong, we know that our sponsors will have our back. As we were putting spark plugs back in it, getting ready to fire it back up, make sure everything was okay, they were calling us to the lanes. It was our time to go.
But the thing about that is you can only rush so much, because everything, when you're assembling an engine like that, everything has to be perfect. Every bolt has to be torqued, you know, you have to go in the right sequence. You can't do something out of order, because, you know, the car's gonna go 170 plus miles an hour in a couple of minutes. So you gotta be very careful, very thorough.
It was it's a semi-final round. We were racing Paul Falcon, and he had ran an 8:10.
Well, you still had to beat the guy. You know, he's still running 8 seconds at 170 in the quarter mile. And so, you know, you still have to put a good tune-up in the car to beat him.
We were fortunate enough that everything stayed together. The tank didn't blow, and we didn't push water, and everything just stayed together and basically did what it had to do. And after the semis, we brought the car back and popped the hood off, popped the valve covers off, so that way we can really go through it the way it needed to be to prepare for the final rounds, because we knew we had to turn it up a bit. It was teamwork that allowed us to get the car back together and get back up to the lanes for the final round.
We knew Jesse had a really fast car. It was in the semifinals. He set a new national record at 767. We really need to step it up and give the car more power off the line.
So now you rely on your crew members to do the burnout and to set you up in the groove perfectly, which, you know, they're very good at.
So my whole concentration as he's pulling up to the starting line is to get him in the best spot on the racetrack. That's my job. I know Louis got the switch in the back, guiding him through the burnout, and I know Louis to do his job perfect.
In a close race, as soon as you let go of the trans brake button, the car starts. Instantly, you know, you're looking over to your left or to your right, and he was right there with us. I couldn't tell who was ahead. A little before the 1,000-foot mark, I saw him just kind of fall back, and, you know, as soon as that point hit, I knew we'd want to just, you know, after the traps pulled the chute, we just started celebrating.
It was surreal. I can't really explain the feeling. It was great. It was really, really great to see the look on George's face as we went to go pick him up on the golf cart, and it's something that we're never going to forget.
I don't think it changed anything. I think it says something about our team, about how hard we work. You know, now that you've won a championship, people maybe look at you a little differently. They say, okay, you know, these guys are good, they're serious, they're not messing around.